It is another episode of the Change of Plans podcast. It's Joe and Vinny back again.
Yes, sir.
We're a little low.
We're a little low on the Hold on, I'm just trying to.
A little low on the tequila, but that's
Yeah.
probably a good thing, I think.
How do you spell live? L-I-V-E.
Live, L-I-V-E.
Yeah, but then when you put it could say we live. Like people might not know, right? Like.
I got Vin one too.
I know, and I came with one because I wasn't sure, but we are.
I feel bad that you brought that. You felt like you had to bring one.
I didn't think this was gonna happen today. I was sitting outside your house for like 75 minutes.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I was I was getting everything set up, and I was really into it. I like to do the techie kind of stuff. Yep. And I was getting it all set, and I looked up at my computer, and I was like, "Oh my god, Vinny's got to be sitting on my front step."
Yeah, and I was like, "I bet Joe's kid has his fucking phone."
She did. She had the phone.
Yeah. So, but we're here. We're at it. Back. We took a couple of weeks off, dude.
No, it was just last week.
I think it might have been like 2 weeks, dude.
Really?
Yeah. I think you've been too busy for me.
Is that really a thing?
No, it's football season, dude. We were gonna do it Friday, but I had my kids' football game, so.
Oh, and then you were gonna try to do it Sunday.
And then remember you had Indian food and you were shitting your pants.
Change of plans. Oh my god. Yeah.
Dude.
Oh god.
Dude, like what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? I mean, I might as well just start off with that topic. You gotta that's dangerous, dude. When you have stuff to do and you eat any type of spicy food, like that's risky.
It's funny you say that because as a person who I wake up every day at 4:30 in the morning, and so I can't really eat food at night. Like I try not to eat at night. Mm-hmm. Before I started having to get up every day at 4:30, I'm a night owl. I'd be up till like 2.
Yeah.
Now I get up at 4:30, so it's a weird thing. I love to eat ice cream. I would eat ice cream late at night, and I can't ever do that. I have to eat it like on a Saturday at like noon.
Yeah, like I'm at that age where I got to figure out what my calendar looks like for the day, and that's kind of how I figure out what I could eat.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to drop some weight, trying to become svelte for our followers. So
do the followers want Vinny to be more svelte? Is that?
I think so. I think that was definitely in the comments last time. That then you look disgusting and get your shit together. So
new catchphrase when you eat spicy food, change your plans. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I'm trying to do my new thing is, and this I always preach to people, so I'm trying to do myself is try to do new habits every week. Right. So that's my habits, I know we talked to that before about stacking the habits. So I've been on like a healthy habit kick. So I started with the gallon of water. I do my intermittent fasting. I do cardio after I lift in the morning now. And then I try to get in some like meditation. So those are my new habits.
That's great.
So I feel good. Hopefully I'll start looking good. But yeah, dude. So like,
your face is clearing up.
Yeah, see, it always starts with the face. I don't know, like
you see it. Yeah, you look younger. You look fresher.
The chin bone right here.
Yeah,
like you see the
little jawline popping out of there. Look at that.
You know what's the best is that like my wife actually was like, "Oh my god, you know, it's true. You do look a little skinnier." Like you never walk around like a rooster after you hear something like that. I was like, "Cock a doodle, and then I try to put on a medium, and she's like, "Let's not push it, young man."
I went to see my cardiologist last week, and my blood pressure was high, so I got to go back in 3 months, which sucks. But my weight was up a couple of lbs too, and it's funny because my wife the other day bought me like 2 new shirts, and she was like, "You're so skinny now."
You're
and
like,
I was like, my doctor thinks I'm fat. So thanks for saying that.
Yes,
that feels good.
Well, like, because I had thank you, Matt's father, for calling me fat. I'm back at it. I'm back on the game.
That's rough.
Yeah. And plus I have like major body dysmorphia anyways, which like if anyone out there has body dysmorphia, it's like the worst thing in the world. But like my shit's in reverse. Like so like it's crazy. So when I'm fairly svelte, I think like I'm a fucking blob. Excuse my language if Louise, if you're watching, I already know I cursed a couple of times this show. But then on the flip side, when I'm a little bit plumper, I feel like I'm strong. So I just have this thing in my head that I'm not fat, but like in real life, I'm fat. It's like it's almost like a shallow Hal. Like I have reverse body dysmorphia.
Reverse shallow Hal.
Like it's crazy. But like I think like that's why I don't like going to the beach. I don't like taking my shirt off. Like none ever since I was a kid. Like I probably put a shirt on as soon as I came out of my mom. Like I was just like put my arms up, they put a shirt on, and I was in it. But then I heard the other day, and it actually clicked. Like I don't know where, if it was on TikTok or Instagram, like someone was like, "Do you really think someone's out there like they go home and they're like, we saw Vin Provenzano basically at the beach? And wow, like that kind of hit." So like today, I might have strutted around with no shirt on in the locker room. Yep. What about? Basis. So,
I think it's sad that people think that way. I don't care. I've never really been a person that give a crap.
Oh, it's like it is literally probably it's in my top 3 things that bother me in life. Like it's literally like all I think about half the time is whether I'm fat or not. Like, and it's like I'm not even joking. Like it's insane. I would even during like COVID, I was like 165 pounds, and I thought I was like a walrus, but I looked like a meth head. But then I would be like 300 pounds, and I'm like, well, I'm filling out quite nicely.
Meth head walrus.
Yeah, I was a meth head walrus. But yeah, it's been one of those things I've been battling with. Like they used to call me Twinkie when I was a kid. Twinkle toes. Yeah, because I had to run my toes and I was kind of chubby. It's kind of messed up, right?
Why are people so mean to you?
Someone asked me that the other day, like, because I'm very quick on my replies. Like people usually don't make fun of me anymore because I go red zone right away. But that's why, because But yeah, that's my spiel about why I'm doing all my habits and trying to live a better, healthier life. It's not to live longer or I could be around for my family. It's so I don't think I'm a slob every time I walk out the house.
All right. I think I just fixed it.
People can't hear me? I just my problem is about me and my body dysmorphia and no one heard it. I'm not going into
no.
it.
Oh, they heard about your body dysmorphia. They definitely did. And they're definitely feeling you.
Yeah, I bet we had 7 viewers. Now we're down to 3.
They're feeling you and you're lumpy. No, good for you. I'm glad that you're you know what? There's not a lot of things about you that I would change.
Well, that's some bullshit. Actually, it's kind of funny you said that because my wife, she's going to get mad at this show again. I remember I was aggravated or complaining about something. I think I was complaining about being fat. And she's like, man, you don't ever complain. Like, she didn't say, hey, you're not fat. She kind of, you got to be serious about it because you complain about it because you're fat. Like, I was like, that's kind of you. I mean, you didn't call me fat, but you didn't exactly say, hey, hon, you're not fat. Like, my wife's not that one. She's not going to sit there and just be like, oh, hon, I'm feeling kind of fat today. She's not going to be like, oh, no, you're not fat. She'll just kind of look at you and just be like, I love you. And I'm like, that doesn't help me out. It's not.
I think the worst part about women is that they love you for who you are and not how you look.
Like 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like, listen, yes, 100%. I have the funniest thing. So I had a guy call me, or he tried to call me, but I'm golfing. So like, I'm not fucking with my golfing time. At that point in my career as a lawyer, like, I can miss a phone call. So he goes to another lawyer, but like as soon as I go in the gym, this guy's sprinting towards me. And it's like being a kid and you're trying to get home first before the teacher calls to tell your side of the story because you know you did some stuff. So this guy comes up to me and he's like, hey, got arrested so with my wife, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to hear anything. I'm trying to not be fat, right? I'm at the gym. And he's like, well, she got mad because I woke up in the morning. I was like, hey, your butt is not as round as it used to be. And I'm like, well, you can stop the conversation, sir, because whatever happens after that, you deserve all of it.
Yeah,
Jesus. Like, where did you think that conversation was going? Like in your head, right?
That had no chance. That was DOA.
So he's guilty of whatever is charged because, I don't care what happened after that. But that isn't the audacity of a person. I had a client text crazy stuff to his ex-wife all the time. So today I'm like, how about you just text that same stuff to your mom? And if you could hit send, then it's appropriate. But if you can't hit send, how about you don't do it, people?
That's not a bad life lesson.
No. So, if you want a healthy marriage, don't ever wake up in the morning and turn to your wife and be like, hey, your rump isn't as round as it used to be.
That's rough.
And your marriage will survive many decades. If not, dude, just grab your bags and go. So that is the question I think we ended with last time.
Do you feel like you are on track in life?
You going first or am I going first?
I'll go first.
Yes.
Yeah, I think life is on track. I feel like I have it together for the most part. Career-wise, things are going extremely well. Personal life, solid. Health-wise,
depends who you
better.
Talk to.
Yeah.
Wife, fantastic. Doctor, bro.
All in all, on track. I would say so. I feel pretty good about where things are, where things are heading. I'm doing another one of those boxing events, which again is sort of one of my things. It's one of my little passions.
Yep.
And I have a goal. I want to call a professional boxing match.
Okay. Like
ESPN or HBO or Showtime. I do want to do that before I die.
How are we going to get there, Joe?
Well, I'm going to continue to call these amateur events and kick ass at it. And I'll sit by the phone and wait.
Need an agent? Need a lawyer? Need a manager?
Yes, I need all three of those things.
This guy.
Hired. You're in.
I don't think you're going to do I don't think Showtime does the boxing anymore. Okay.
HBO or ESPN?
Listen,
either one.
I support that. I'd be down for that.
I'd even work at DAZN.
I don't know what that is. Is that Fox?
No, you don't know the DAZN?
No.
DAZN. You ever seen that?
No.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, yeah. It's pretty big at boxing. DAZN.
DAZN. Not like the zone.
It's DAZN. DAZN. DAZN.
I don't think that's what it says, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that
the first time I saw it, I didn't know what it was. So it was
design.
It's DAZN. And I was like, how you getting that? How are you reading that? But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I even have a career goal that I'm working towards and doing putting work in to get there because that's what you have to do. And so yeah, and I look forward to that. So yeah, I feel like life's on track.
Yeah. Couple things on that. So I like how you said you got your goal and you're kind of grinding towards that. I was talking to a couple people today, and I think with this Instagram and immediate gratification stuff, I don't think the young kids understand the grind, right?
Yeah,
I think the work-life balance is way too crazy right now. And I think I think you got to people want to come out, be 25 and have that work-life balance. I think there is an appropriate time to really grind, right? I'm not grinding like I did in my 35 because I don't want to. Right. But you have to have that period in your life to grind in order to have that work-life balance. So when you said that, kind of hit home because I had that conversation multiple times today with either younger clients or my associate or whomever, is that yes, you got to have a work-life balance, but that money is going to help you do things with your family. But I think you got to have that. You have grind.
We're gonna go that route.
Um.
We're good. We're good now.
All right. Sorry, fans. I know the audio kept kicking out. So.
Yeah, we have a little audio problem. We just circumvented it, so whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. I think the last podcast we were like silent for a minute and a half.
Well, because I wasn't looking. I wasn't. That's why I'm trying to focus on the screen as much as you.
Yeah.
I love that hat, by the way.
Thank you. It's J3 made by Jackson Ryan over here. It's the clothing
Great work.
brand. So my dude actually made all J3 gear for the football season. So I got hoodies, long sleeve shirts, has a Cromwell Panther here and the big J3 on the back. Pretty excited about it. He gave me some top-notch, top-quality gear. So if you need some, checks out Jackson Ryan Clothing. He puts together all the stuff. So, yeah, he's the man. He's our biggest fan. That's why he's here. Shout out to Ryan. Works till 4 a.m, making me my stuff, so I have it for the games. So excited about that. Do you feel like you are in track in life? I don't like this question, Joe.
Why?
I don't like to have a track. I don't want to be on a track. I want to live life. I think you feel like I don't think I'm on. I hope there's not just like this one path in life, and I'm following my path.
But you're on a path.
I don't know if I'm on a path.
Metaphorically speaking.
I don't know if I am. I don't know if I agree with that.
Metaphorically?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Not a metaphorical path, like a journey.
I'm on a journey. I'm not but I'm not.
You're looking at it as like a narrow path, like your path of like, well, you're a married lawyer now. I don't think that's what they're suggesting.
Like, but that's what I like. If you're on track, like I don't know.
Well, the opposite of on track is off track.
Yeah.
Right. Like you would say, wow, that train's on the tracks. And then if it's not, you'd be like, holy fuck, that's
I'm
bad.
Off the track. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're saying that. Yeah. No, I'm definitely not off the tracks. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm on the path I'm supposed to be.
You know what? Funny. Let me make the analogy. My dad worked for the railroad.
Of course he did.
When you're on the train,
yeah,
sometimes they pull the lever and it switches and you go on the other track.
Yeah.
You change your plans
correct
to another track.
Correct. But you're still
and you're at an interesting point because you don't really want to be a lawyer anymore. You want to be a cult leader / guru / life coach.
Yeah, I don't. Wow, a cult leader. That'd be pretty dope. I wouldn't mind doing
Yes.
that.
No. Yes.
Yes. 1,000%. I guess like if to look at it now, yeah, my life is great. Like everything's fallen into line.
Yeah.
But I like to think that like if something different happens tomorrow, I kind of go with it. Like I'm kind of like that free flowing. I'll get mad about dumb shit, like not being able to get in my partner's house to do our podcast on time. It really aggravates me. But if my house burns down, I'm good tomorrow. I'll be at a Radisson chilling out. And I literally won't even blink an eye. So like I think big life changes I'm good with. So
the Radisson, by the way, is life of luxury.
Well, I say Radisson because they're dog friendly. I know this already because I had to do that once.
Yeah.
Other reasons. But yes, on track, I think like am I supposed to be where I'm at today? Yes. Is it going to be the same thing tomorrow? I don't know. But right now, as I sit here, what am I going to complain about, dude? Got a beautiful wife, great kid, good dogs, good podcast partner. Business is booming. Got a drink in my hand. It's first world problems, homie. Yeah, so life's pretty good. I really don't like my job, though. The judge asked me that yesterday. Asked me if I was all right. I was like so fed up with my job.
I would think that they could make a TV series about you as a lawyer.
Yeah, I have heard that once or twice. You should walk around my office. There's just this huge notebook of just shit I've done or said. But yeah, I'm pretty frustrated with the practice, like especially like family law.
divorce, custody, and whatnot. Because it doesn't seem like people do it for an end.
Is that a bulk of your stuff, your cases?
Yeah, well, that's how I got into the coaching stuff. Is that it hasn't panned out that way, but it was just like, okay, I'm helping people get through a divorce, and that's the biggest change in life. And then I'm like, hey, good luck in life, and I don't see them again, right? Unless there's an issue. And I think there's a value to being like, okay, I could get you through your divorce, but then I could help you navigate the next step of life, right? Like that major change, that change of plans. And that's how I came up with change of plans, because no one ever intends on getting a divorce, right? That's the biggest switcheroo. But I think when people are going through the divorce, they don't have a goal in mind other than just to churn and burn. And I think attorneys bait into that, and then it just creates this practice where I'm spinning my wheels, where I know I could get any case done 45 days if people just put their heads together. So I was talking to the judge yesterday that as attorneys, we complain about not being able to get stuff done and the billable hours and all of this stuff, but no one does anything about it. But if the bar just sat down, like all the private attorneys sat down, like, what's your biggest issues? How do we fix it? I think the practice would be a lot smoother, and in turn, your clients benefit. So that's my biggest gripe right now, is that, especially in family, it's like I'm doing stuff to no end. Like I don't know what the end goal is, because it's just this rotating wheel of we're not getting to a finish line. And it could be your clients, it could be the attorneys, but at the end of the day, you have to acknowledge that, like, listen, you're not going to agree. That's why you're getting a divorce. Like, you can't be like, I can't believe this person's doing this. Well, that's why you're here, right?
I mean,
I had a conversation with someone today, and it's, there's nothing you can do in court. And it was like, listen, how this person is going to react. So all you can control is what you're doing and how you react to that person. And that's 90% of my business, is trying to control that reaction from my client. So it's been probably a frustrating 2 weeks of it's like Groundhog Day for me. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like that part of the divorce process. I think it's already ugly enough. So it's I've been frustrated. I feel bad for my staff. I get a little bit temperamental, but they're great. So I don't know, trying to keep that perspective of, like, don't take it personal. It's just a job, but you're affecting everyone's life. Like I don't have a job where I just get to go home and it didn't have an effect on somebody. Like whatever I do, that final dissolution agreement with a custody plan, that's affecting kids, parents, grandparents.
Shit, yeah.
Like that. That's going to affect the outcome of these people's lives in some way. So,
well, that's such a big responsibility that you have. As I never really thought about it like that before, but yeah,
like
and my wife is a lawyer too, and I mean every day she deals with different cases, and obviously it has a major impact on human beings' lives. And I hear a lot of stories, and it's sometimes you kind of laugh at it. It's messed up, but that's an actual.
But dude, it's
person.
like it's real life, and sometimes your clients put themselves in a situation or whatever. But like the reality is,
most of the time,
and 98% of the time. But like the crazy part is the effect on the kids. Like, so whatever you're doing, like even if you're doing the best job, my job is to represent my client, and sometimes that has a negative effect on the family because I have a job to do, and that's the tough part, right? Like I got a case now where I told the dad he was a big POS. There's a huge steaming pile of dung for what he was doing. Probably didn't appreciate that, but like that's the reality of the job. Sometimes I get paid to shoot the truth. Are we frozen again?
No. Vin, heard this from you before. Real estate closings, people are usually happy to buy and sell.
Dude, that's like I literally today, that's the perfect thing you could have said today, because I did a closing 4:00, and it's a pre-sign, right? So it's got to take like maybe 5 minutes tops. They're selling. This has happened twice in the past 2 weeks. I've sat there for 45 minutes and I had the best conversations with like these people at the closing because they were just happy. And then you get to go talk about life. And both times, both couples were like, thank you for taking the time out. And it's just an extra half hour of my day. And I'm like, because people don't do it enough. Like sometimes, again, it doesn't happen at every closing, or you don't have that opportunity. But I think if you have that opportunity or that small connection, like take advantage of it. And I thanked them today. I was like, this was by far the best part of my day, because I needed this half hour just to decompress and talk about like normal like life stuff. So I think I love real estate stuff. I'm super jealous of my partners because that's all they do and they make good money at it. But I like to think too that with my divorce and my criminal stuff that I'm helping in some other way too. So, but yeah, it's been a ride the past couple weeks. But I'm here to talk about it. It's first world problems. That's what I tell people. You know, you live in the gain and not the gap, like we talked about before, right? I was re-listening to the book, and it's just trying to focus on like that gain, you know, that I'm helping people with, or what I have and not what I'm lacking, or how the business is wrong, or something to that effect. So I think I heard a story today where guy's like 85, he's in hospice, and you know his family was like creating this memoir for him, right? And he's helping out, and they're like, what's the one thing you want to tell people? Like, what's the one word? And he's like, grateful. Like, that's right. Like, that's at the end of the day, like if you could sit back and just be grateful like that. Like, if you think about, okay, what's the last thing you could say? Like, if you know you're gonna die in the next 30 seconds, like one word, what is it? Like, is it regret? Like, is it I'm sorry? Or is it like, hey, I'm grateful? Like, I'm just grateful for everything that's happened. Right. And if you think about it in that capacity, like, I think if you actually think about it, you'll be grateful for a lot more things than you're negative about. Like, you have a lot more things to be grateful of at the end of the day. Like, I'm grateful that, you know, people aren't eating my pets.
It's hilarious. 30 seconds left in life. I am definitely not making apologies.
Yeah, no. I don't think like apologies to people, but like I don't want to be like,
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Left,
yeah, you're like, oh my god, I always wanted to go to Chicago.
Yeah, like I don't want the regrets, or I don't want to have to sit there and be like, you know what, I'm worried about what people. I don't want to have to worry about what people thought of me. Like, I don't necessarily care. Like, I don't care if people like me or not. But I would love to be like, okay, the overall majority were like, all right, he was a cool dude, right? Like,
yeah,
like, you know, it's people are like, oh, you shouldn't care what people think, like, because then you're just gonna live life as an asshole. Like, I think so. I think for me, that would be my takeaway after, like, you know, that's my biggest worry is like, I just hope I was a good person. Right. And then I think too, like, yes, grateful. I'm extremely grateful, I think, for everything that happened, like everything in life. You're good, you're bad, like, you know, because you learn from the bad, like you enjoy your good, like you need the bad shit in life in order to be grateful for the good things you have. Like, I think for me, like if I just lived a blessed life my whole life and nothing bad has ever happened to me,
yeah.
Well, that's Joe. Well, Joe, because you're giving me the smirk, Joe. Like, you're just giving me the smirk that Joe has lived. Yeah, he lives like in like Alice in Wonderland, like Care Bear Land.
Yeah. Honest to God, I can tell you in my 49 years on this earth, I have rarely not been successful at things. I mean, I've been fired from some jobs, mind you.
I gotta say thankful to my boy Sneaker King, my boy Boogie. That's my Sneaker Connect. That's my fam. That's my brother from another mother. He's always listening in. He tells us we got to get a new backdrop. He's tired of the Wayne's World in the back with the wood. we gotta update. But that's my dude. That's my fam. And I didn't want to interrupt, but I'm so stoked he's on.
No, like, that's great.
That is my ride or die. He just hooked up with my kid with some cleats today, and he was like a superhero at practice because everyone's like, "Where did you get those?" And the kid is so cool. He's like, "Yo, I got a guy."
That's
so that's Uncle Boog. Shout out to Uncle Boog. If you
I don't know what
clothes, sneakers.
I don't know what WOW 49 means, but
yeah,
I'm sure that's cool.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I got super excited.
I was rambling anyway. I don't even know what I was talking about, to tell you the truth.
But like that's my boy Boog. You want to talk about a turnaround? That dude made something of himself.
Oh, I know what I was talking about. My privileged life.
Well, you have lived. It sounds like a touch life.
You know,
you were a
funny.
good-looking kid. You were smart. You have luscious hair. Everybody liked you.
I was a good athlete. Like everything I did, I was like, I remember this. This was so funny. I was a Boy Scout, right? Like I was the low level of Boy Scouts, and we went to this giant. It was somewhere up in northern Connecticut, and there was all sorts of Cub Scout troops, and everybody got like their little, registration thing or whatever, and some of them had like it almost looked like a flower. And so the group I was with, we were in groups of 10. They were like, "Oh, look at yours. Yours looks like a flower." And I was the youngest guy in my group and one of the youngest guys at the camp because I was like, again, literally at the lowest level. And they came through and they were like, all the guys with the flower thing, you're the captain.
Like,
I mean, it's just shit always kind of worked. It's just always worked out. I really don't. I got divorced. Again, I've been fine. Things haven't always been great, but like nothing. The worst things that have ever happened to me, you'd be lucky if that shit happened to you. You know what I mean? Like you'd be fortunate.
You know what? Like I get awestruck by it. It's the fact that you remember the most random stories of your life. Like the most.
Well, there's a reason. There's a reason for that.
That has to be like. So my question is like, why do you remember that? Like why? Like out of all the stories, you're like, I remember this one time.
Yeah.
When I was like a Boy Scout and I got this pin. And I was El Capitan.
Because it's things like that molded my life. And again, it's like I try to think of situations where like, oh, maybe shit's not going to go your way. My sophomore year of high school, I went from Xavier to Platt High School.
Oof, that's a change.
Oh, it was a big change. And so you go from an all-boys school to a public school in Meriden, and inevitably someone's going to be like, oh, you're a fag. And now we got to fight. And the fag won. And so, again, what looked like it could be a bad situation for me, I mean, if this kid beats me up, I've probably got 3 years of getting beat up ahead of me. Instead, I rocked this fucking dude's world. And people are like, okay, this guy's all right. So, again, it was like I solved the credibility issue. You know what I mean? Like just everything I've done just sort of works out. I don't know why. So, regrets? No, zero. Like literally zero.
Yeah, no. Like I have zero regrets. So my point was,
I don't even have like where I'm like, oh, that kind of sucked. Like, a little bit.
No, I have that kind of suck moments. But I think they're
Come on, Sneaker King went to Platt. I love that.
Yo, yeah, that's my dude.
Who's Matthew Justin Baldock?
Where's he at? Oh, my boy, Matt, dude. What's going on?
Maddie's in the house.
Yo, wow, we got some viewers tonight. The pressure is on.
No, it shouldn't be. That's the other thing. I have literally right for the last 27 years of my life. This is what I do for a living. This.
I'm jealous.
You know what I'm saying? I'm good at this. This is what I'm good at.
But
it's like anybody could be good at this, and I happen to be good at this.
Yeah, but you know what makes me? Well, it doesn't make me mad. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. I hate you for it, but congratulations.
Well, it's because you're good and you're great at something you love to do.
I don't even know if I love to do it. It's like I figured out I was good at it. And it's
you like
just hang out and be yourself. Like, okay.
Like me, like I'm really good at being a lawyer. Like I'm like top tier. Like go ahead, put it out there, find someone better. I'll wait. Okay. But like, do I like what I do? Nope. I just happen to be extremely.
So you want to
extraordinarily good
laugh?
at it.
My wife obviously is a lawyer. I when I was a kid, you know what I wanted to be? Fucking lawyer. I thought I'd be so good as a lawyer because I talk good.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm quick witted. I'm good in a debate. You know, I pick up shit quick. I don't know. I'd be good at that. But I found in college you had to study and read and learn, and that shit sucked.
Yeah, I never.
And also, I had a problem. I had a problem, I think, with alcohol for like 2 years. I'm not much of a drinker these days, as you know. As I sip this glass of tequila, I really only drink with you. You're my drinking buddy. Did you know that?
I appreciate.
Yeah,
preach, as the kids say. That's appreciate, but it's now preach. But yeah, I don't think, like, growing up, I never wanted to be a lawyer.
See what I'm saying? This is my life.
Yeah, I know, dude. You're famous, okay?
No,
you know what?
You want to laugh?
You know what?
No, listen to this.
My track in life.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a radio personality, and we're gonna go toe for toe.
you would be great.
You know,
You would be great on the radio because all it is just this. All it is being able to talk about stuff and to say shit and to make jokes. And I can swear here, which is cool. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
27 years. I've never sworn on the radio. In real life, though,
I'd have to be satellite, bro.
I'd have to be satellite. I don't know what it is. It's I turn the radio thing on and again because I'm quick. I'm very quick witted with stuff. Never swear. I've never even come close.
But that's why I'm surprised I haven't sworn in a courtroom. So I'm very.
Would you get in trouble if you swore? That's like contempt, I would think.
Well, I'd probably get away with like one or two. Like, so the other day I had a workers' comp hearing. I didn't see it in my calendar, so I show up, J's on, t-shirt, and I had like shiny pants that I had in my office, and I got away with it. But I'm very quick-witted in the courtroom, so like I was having a discussion today with an attorney, and where a lot of attorneys fumbles, they write all their questions out on their notepads, and they're just reading the questions, and I'm like, what me and you are good at is listening, right? And then reacting off of what you're saying and what I'm saying. But it's the same thing in a courtroom. Like, while you're busy staring at your notebook, I'm listening to your client.
Yeah,
it's just setting these booby traps, and it's like clockwork. But it was funny. So like, I never thought I was going to be a lawyer. Like, I didn't grow up thinking I'm going to be a lawyer. People are like, oh, he likes to read. He's going to be a doctor. But I went to school. I took like an organic chemistry class, and I'm like, I'm not going to make it in doctor world. So I went into marketing. But it was like the same thing with, like, people grow up like, oh, I'm going to be a father, I'm going to be a dad, all this stuff. Not once did I ever think, hey, I'm going to have a kid someday. It's like the weirdest stuff. But like, for me, like, I became a lawyer because it was a means to an end. It was a means not to be broke, which was people say that's the wrong way. You need to go into it when you're passionate and you love the law. Like, no, you know what I like? Not being broke. Like, like, it's not everyone. Your life is not about the money, but being able to pay your bills helps your life out a lot. So now I'm in this career where I like to think I'm really good at it, but like, do I like doing it? No, but I think it's also part of the system that's been created that where, like, if the system was better, I'd probably like my job more. But I know too much now, and I know how to fix it. It just, it's never going to get fixed. And I think that's the frustrating part, for me. Oh boy, Sneaker King cousin Vinny.
I love that.
I got like 84 copies of that, by the way.
By the way, I'm glad you just sort of brought it up. I've done a bunch of really cool interviews lately with comedians and rock stars, to the point where at the end of several of my interviews, I've had them say to me, like, wow, this was a pretty cool interview.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, yeah, I don't have anything written down.
Yeah.
I generally speaking, if I'm talking to somebody, I just have their bio, so I know why they're there and kind of what they've done.
Yep.
I don't write down questions ever. I just kind of ask people stuff, and then I listen to what they say, and that generally leads to a follow-up of sorts, and then more information, anecdotal stories, some jokes. And at the conclusion of that exchange, what you've actually had was a conversation.
I was waiting for you to use that word.
It's brilliant.
Like, I was waiting for you to use that word because like that's all a conversation is.
Yeah.
Like, and people don't have conversations anymore. Everything is an angle. Like anytime, anywhere you have a conversation with somebody, they're not listening to you. They're asking you a question with another question already in their head or another response. And it's crazy to me that like, but if you just listen, you'll have such a better maybe you won't agree with the person, but you're going to understand it. And you never know. Like me and, my boy Boogie over here, like I ran into him because I like to buy sneakers. He's on the Berlin Turnpike.
Where at?
Well, he was. Now he's in Berlin. You know where Powerhouse is in Berlin?
Yeah.
Right across the street in that business complex. Exclusive styles, right? But like he used to roll on the turnpike. And I remember I just pulled over one day. I'm going to go talk to this dude about some sneakers. Didn't know from a hole in the wall. Like fast forward, the dude's like my brother now. But we had conversations. Like going to his shop for me is the barber shop. Because clearly I don't go to a barber shop. And that's probably the thing I miss most about hair.
Yeah.
It's chopping it up at the barber shop because that's what you're doing. Right, to sit there and have those conversations. And it's so much more fun than like I was at the gym today and it's just the classic old guy like change doesn't happen in November. We're gonna be shit out of luck. And I'm like, so I make a stupid comment about the pet eating thing because it's never gonna get old. It's the best thing in the world. He's like, no, that really happened. And he was dead serious about like pets getting eaten, and he was just hard up on it. It was crazy. What do we got here?
Ask Vin about his alter ego, Supreme King, with his denim patch jacket. He turned into a superhero. The golden Supreme chair.
Yes, so it's my favorite thing in the world. It is my Superman outfit. So I bought this Supreme jacket. So Supreme's a brand, right? I don't know if you know this, but it's kind of like this.
I don't.
No, so it's kind of like this urban brand, but everyone knows what a Supreme is if you're kind of in that sneaker game and whatnot. So I got a jacket with every Supreme patch. And Boogie's like, yo, you can pull it off. I'm like, bet, let's get this, right? So I don't look at all the patches at the time. So I go out to eat. I wasn't married to my wife yet. I think we're going on a double date with her dinner, with her parents at like an Italian dinner. So I wear it. And she's walking behind me. She's like, what are you wearing? I'm like, this awesome denim jacket. She's like, there's a naked girl walking a dog on your shoulder. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, on the back of it says the world. And then you have a big dazzle patch that says, don't ask me for shit.
That's a real statement.
And then it just goes from there. So she hates the jacket, and I wear it as much as I possibly can.
Of course.
Because the reaction I get from it is fantastic, but I wouldn't have ever worn it if not for my boy Boog saying you could pull it. It's not the clothes that make the man, it's the man that makes the clothes. Remember that, everybody. Remember that. Write that down. That's a nugget for you. But like everyone has that one piece of clothing in the closet that, like, if it's game time, it's game 7.
Oh yeah.
Like you're down to the wire. You got one shot left to pull it out. You just go in that closet, and it like sings to you, right? Like, and that's my go-to. Is my denim jacket. That's the secret. That's the secret sauce. It's awesome. I'm gonna wear it next week. I'm wearing it. I would wear it, but it's so hot in here.
Yeah,
it's like a thunderstorm is gonna happen during our podcast. That's how hot it is down here. By the way, it is like
it's not hot. It was hot. It's all right.
It's Africa hot, dude.
No, it's like almost.
It's muggy.
I've got a bit of a chill right now.
Like there's a mosquito nest forming over here.
There
gross.
is a breeze coming from behind me.
Yeah, it's wild. But yes, so but I will say once again, like going back to the conversations, I think like some of my best friendships happen from random conversations. Some of my best clients, some of my best relationships,
some of your best podcasts.
Oh, like without a doubt. Like I mean,
right?
I mean, just doing these podcasts is crazy to me because it's not something I was comfortable with, But I think you have to get out of your comfort zone to get comfortable and stuff. What do we gotta do?
You got a shoe guy and a shirt guy and a hat guy. What a lifestyle!
That is true. I am a pretty blessed guy. I'm grateful.
Matt here was a client of yours.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. It's funny when and let me ask you this. You know, because I had a legal situation 6 years ago that was totally accidental, which is hilarious. And my lawyer, do you know, I'll just say his name because he's a cool dude and I love him. Do you know Rob Britt?
Yo, Rob's the dude.
Rob's my guy.
Yo, Rob put me off on the no sock tip with the soup.
Yeah,
he's my dude. This dude. There might be one guy smoother than me. Actually, two. Matt Sorokin, can give him a shout out, and Rob Britt. Like, and he's a good dude.
I love Rob Britt,
and he's always tan. By the way, I don't know how that works, but
because he's the man. That's
glows.
why. I called this dude up and I was like, hey, I told him who I was, told him what I do, and I told him what happened at the gas station. I knocked a guy out by accident, and he was like, come by my office on Monday. We'll take care of shit. This was a Friday. And I go in there on the Monday, and my wife came with me, and I told him the story, and I acted it out in his conference room, and dude, hit his heart, he was like, you're an actual innocent person. I'm gonna clear your name, and we're gonna beat this case. He was all about it. Got AR in the case, right? Then I ended up getting fired from my job.
Yeah.
And I owed him about $2,000 still.
Mm-hmm.
And I got fired. I called him up. He was like, I'm going to take you out to lunch, man. I feel terrible. Yeah. And a couple days later, dude, I got my bill. He zeroed it out.
Huh?
Just ate the money. And I got to tell you, dude, for a lawyer to eat a couple of $1,000 because he thinks I'm a good dude. It's like, oh my God, Rob Britt is I should have figured, of course you know him. He's he's right up your aisle.
He's one of the few that I speak highly of. I'm not gonna lie. He does exclusively criminal. Just a great guy, but that story falls in line with him. I learned from people like that. I had a judge tell me the other day, then you gotta stop giving money back. Or putting money into the pot to get these things done. And it's sometimes it's not $2,000, but it's just that it's that little bit of effort. I had a guy, he just got sentenced. His girl was going to drop off the balance and he was going to send me. I'm like, bro, I don't need it. Obviously I need the money, but it's bigger than that. But big shout out to him, man. He's a cool, he's a cool dude. But I think we need not just attorneys in general. I just think we need more people like that to just help out. It's not that hard to help out somebody else, right? Well, you're always smirking at the computer, and I can't see.
Oh no, because I try to share all the comments, and there's been so many tonight.
It's wild.
But I'm sorting through to see if any more need to get shared, and some of them just made me laugh. They're just really funny. This dude Matt is also your plumber. I love it. That's hilarious,
dude. Yeah.
Bam. You know what? I'm sorry. What'd you say Sneaker King's name was?
Boogie.
Boogie.
Not Bam. I like Bam, though. He can be Bam. He looks like a Bam.
Because you good dude, you'll be blessed. And I tell you right now, we got a mantra on this show. Don't be a dick.
That's it.
If you're not a dick, generally speaking, people will be nice to you.
And I think the biggest thing is don't do something because you're expecting it back. I think that's my biggest.
Yes.
I think that's my biggest pet peeve with people those do-gooders. I'm a do-gooder, so then you got to do good for me. I don't care. For me, yes, it's nice when people help me out, and I am blessed. I have a crew that call me any time of day. They're grabbing a shovel and we're going to work, right? But I don't do stuff with the expectation you're going to do it back. But if you're going to, take a dump on me or abuse that situation, then see you later.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it's really I think it's so you have to put in so much more effort to be an asshole than it is just to be a good person. Life is so
yeah.
Much,
you got to kind of go out of your way to be an asshole.
You got to put an effort in. You got to make a decision and say, I'm just gonna be an ass.
Well, sure, because in any moment, it's there's a variety of ways you can be an asshole, and you got to select the one you're going to use.
That's
some thought, as opposed to just the knee jerk, like, oh, can I help you with something?
Yeah. Or if you don't want to help, just don't go the opposite way. Just walk away. It just infuriates me. And people will ask, well, why did you do that? Because it's just the right thing to do. It makes me feel good when I get home.
Yeah.
And it's just I know it's hopefully someone pays it forward. And if they don't, they don't. But it's life shouldn't be that difficult. And I think in this, this, upcoming election and if you just take a step back and just be could we not be raging lunatics for a few months and just be good people? I think a lot of things pan out, but you can't people pick sides. This guy today is no, these people are definitely eating cats. And I'm well, it was one lady, she wasn't an immigrant and she wasn't Haitian. Oh no, they're definitely eating the cats. And I'm I'm not gonna have it. And then he's you're going to lose all this money and Trump's going to say, I was Trump's going to save people like me money. People who make a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you think Trump cares about the dude making 50 G's a year. You're out of your mind. And whatever offense you're on, but don't get all angry and crazy about it. I just be a good human being. You can be a Harris supporter or a Trump supporter, not be a dick. Just don't be mad all the time.
Do you know... we've all, I assume, have made or have heard, jokes about Chinese food restaurants serving cats and dogs.
Never heard of such a joke.
Yeah.
There's a joke about that?
The lo mein is your cat. You've heard jokes like that. Do you know where that comes from? It comes from the 1880s when Chinese immigrants came to the United States. And
fun fact by Joe, that's my favorite part of the show.
Well, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Chinese food restaurants sprung up, and obviously there was a lot of anti-immigrant hate.
Yeah. Sure.
And the same rumors we're using now about Haitians eating cats and dogs is the same shit they said over 100 years ago about China. And to this day, we still make the joke that they're serving cats and dogs like Chinese people or Koreans, as if they would ever eat. What is wrong with people?
It's the ignorance, it's the hate, and the hate spreads a lot faster than the good stuff, right? It's insane. I watched and I don't want to get all political on this because then whatever. But
listen, but it's not political. I mean,
it's
listen,
just being people
it's steeped in anti-immigrant rhetoric, and it's as old as anti-immigration.
I'm watching this interview with JD Vance. And anyone who interviews this guy is you're just a jabroni in my book unless you're setting him up. So he goes on this thing how who's a crazy racist lady that hangs out with Trump?
Laura Loomer.
Yeah. So Loomer says something about the White House is going to smell like curry.
Yes.
Right? So he's he doesn't go say, I disown those things. He's I don't care if it smells like curry or fried chicken. Bro.
Let me take the racist joke a little further and explain it.
It's the craziest thing that people go on the news now and just spray this racist anti-immigration stuff, and it's just normal. The fact that it's normalized now infuriates me. And it's just, I have to take a deep breath because it really does. It does bother me because I don't understand it. And I'm not the smartest person in the world. I just think I'm a good dude, with some common sense. And then there's just that on the TV. It's perfectly acceptable to some people just to go out and say crazy stuff.
I was just earlier today explaining to my daughter and her boyfriend, they're both 21. I'm none of this is normal. Childless cat ladies eating cats. I don't know what their obsession with the cats is. It's weird. But I explained to them in 2004, and if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, look up Howard Dean. Howard Dean was running for the Democratic nomination, and he lost a primary that people thought was his best chance to really make some headway. And he decided to be upbeat afterwards, and he addressed his supporters, and he was very enthusiastic. And he was, we're going to go to California, and we're going to go to Florida, and he went, woo! That guy's political career effectively ended that day. People were like, this guy's unhinged. He's insane.
And all he said is a woo!
Woo!
And it's like,
and that was the end of it. That was 20 years ago. The standards in the last 20 years, dare I say, have changed dramatically for the worse.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. But let's get back to happier topics. Because then I get stressed out. This is
you want to talk religion? Let's do it.
No. So we're gonna do it. How much time we had?
We're winding down. It might be time to pull a card, and we'll give you some homework.
All right. I say we do one, we answer, then we give homework.
Let's do it. I love it.
All right. So I'm gonna pick this one. I'm not gonna ask. You're not getting that one.
Oh, by the way, listen. That's not an endorsement of any candidate. Believe me.
That's a good one.
Believe me.
Yeah. I'm with him. Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah. If I say Donald Trump's an idiot, that doesn't mean Joe Biden's good or Kamala Harris. Please don't ever infer anything I say as an endorsement of something else. You know what I'm saying? If I'm like, man, the Yankees ain't been playing well, that doesn't mean I like the Red Sox. It doesn't mean that at all.
Or if you want, just write me in.
Yeah.
And Joe, we'll be good.
If you woke up in a room with everyone you've ever met, who's the first person you would look for? If you woke up in a room with everyone you've ever met, who's the first person you would look for? Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good one. I can't wait to hear your answer.
I mean, I think, do I want to go the sentimental route? Would it be my grandfather who died in 1981 when I was 6? Good question, Laura Armstrong Gonzalez asked. Dead or alive? Everyone you've ever met is in play.
So it should. Hi, Laura. I'm so glad she joined. She's a huge fan, too. My people are coming out strong tonight.
Yeah, they are.
No, but I think it's just like you hear the question, who's the first person that pops in your head?
Well, it's funny. I'm trying to think of all the cool people. I mean, I've met a lot of cool people in my life. I wake up and they're all in the room together. I mean, I've met like rock stars and like a lot of famous people. Who's the
first person that comes to your head?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so easy. No, I mean, literally, like honestly, if this was a real scenario, it would be my grandfather.
Okay.
But I have such amazing memories of this guy. I mean, like 3 extremely vivid memories, and it's the only 3 I have because he died. And he had cancer, and it was a rough ending for him too. But I would be the person.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You got a better answer? Who's yours?
I don't. I'm just like, because it's gonna sound so corny when I say it. It's gonna sound like cheesy, but I gotta tell you why.
Go ahead.
It'd be my wife.
Of course it would.
So, but I have to tell you why. So I will say this, like.
Oh, my wife too, by the way. I should have picked mine.
No, so I do this meditation, right? So it's called the 6-stage meditation. So like you so whatever. So the reason I say that is my favorite thing in the whole world, like the whole world, is her smile. Corny as it sounds, like I read that, the first thing that pops in my head, like I'm looking for that smile from my wife. Because I remember on our first date, this was our double date with our friends. We went out after. And I remember I was like walking to the bathroom, I turned around just to catch a glance, and she was smiling. And that image is like seared in my fucking brain. So like now, like as soon as I see that question, like I gotta look for my wife's smile.
He wakes up next to her every morning. That's why her smile is. What are you talking about?
I can tell you right now.
If you woke up in a room with everyone you ever met, you would literally wake up and Claudia would be right next to you, like right here.
Well, you're
not even getting up. You wouldn't even have to get out of bed to look. I would wake up and I'd be like, is my grandfather here? Pop, pop.
No, because it's
pop, pop. Have you seen my pop, pop?
I can't. It's the most ridiculous.
You're waking up. You're like looking right at her. You fucking lazy bastard. You just don't want to get out of bed and look around. You met so many people, and you're gonna pick the lady you're lying next to. What a bunch of bullshit! Come on.
No, I'm telling you,
that's a big fail right there.
That's a big one.
Pop, 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 pop. Where are you?
You sound like me trying to look for my dad these days. It's horrible joke. That's all right. Sad. So we got one homework. Read it to him. All right. So everyone on, if you guys can tune in next week, this is what you guys got to answer coming back on.
If you could go back in time to meet one person, who would it be and why?
Yep. So that's next week's episode. Write it down. That's your homework assignment.
Laura, I know you're already asking the same question, dead or alive. We can go back in time to any time.
True that.
And I want you guys to think about it too. And you'll put your comments in the comments section next week when the show starts, and we'll read them back, and that'll be fun.
And we appreciate it. This was the most interactive one we've had, and by far, I think the best one.
That's why we're doing the live ones. We're doing it live for the interaction. Otherwise, it's just you and me cracking each other up. Now we're getting Nicole and Laura in on the act. Yeah. Everyone's getting a good laugh.
Great. And if anyone sees this, Papa! Tell them we said hi. We appreciate you guys. Change your plans. ChangeYourPlansCT.com. Come check me out. And we'll see you guys next week.
Pop up!
That was a good. That might have been our best one, dude.